Now, we often talk about exercises to strengthen the knee, but we have to talk about how we rebuild the knee from the inside out. You can do all the squats in the world, but if you aren't feeling your connective tissue, you're fighting an uphill battle. Let's start with collagen. Your knees are largely made of cartilage, which relies heavily on collagen. As we age, our natural production drops. A great tip for keeping these healthy is to incorporate bone broth into your diet or high quality collagen peptides. But here is the secret that most people miss: vitamin C. You cannot synthesize collagen effectively without vitamin C. So, if you're taking a supplement but skipping the fruits and veggies, you aren't getting the full benefit. Think red bell peppers, citrus, and strawberries. Next, let's look at inflammation. Chronic inflammation is the enemy of your joints. It eats away at cartilage. To fight this, we need to look at omega 3 fatty acids. If you aren't eating fatty fish like salmon or mackerel a few times a week, consider walnuts, chia seeds, or a high quality fish oil supplement. Think of omega 3s as the fire extinguisher for the heat in your joints. Finally, let's talk about the simplest, cheapest tip: hydration. The synovial fluid, that's the oil that lubricates your knee joint, is largely water. When you are dehydrated, that fluid gets thicker and moves less freely. If your knees feel stiff and creaky in the morning, drink a large glass of water first thing. It helps lubricate the moving parts before you put a heavy load on them. Here is a concept that changed everything for my knee health, and I want to share it with the Staying Healthy Tips family. It's called the Kinetic Chain. Think of your knee as the middle child of your leg. It is stuck between the ankle and the hip. The knee is a hinged joint. It primarily wants to move forward and backward. The hip and ankle, however, are mobile joints designed to rotate. Here's the problem. If your hips are weak, specifically the glute medius on the side of your hip, your femur rotates internally every time you take a step. This twists the knee joint. So, sometimes knee pain isn't a knee problem, it's a weak hip problem. To keep your knee strong, you actually need to strengthen your glutes. Exercises like clamshells, lateral band walks, and glute bridges are non negotiable. They stop your knee from collapsing inward when you walk or run. The same goes for your ankles. If your ankles are stiff and don't bend well, your knee is forced to take on extra impact to compensate. Working on ankle mobility, simply doing ankle circles or calf stretches, can take a massive amount of pressure off your knees during daily activities. Before we wrap up, I want to touch on the silent knee killers, your daily habits. First, let's talk about footwear. The shoes you wear for 8 hours a day matter more than the shoes you wear for 1 hour at the gym. High heels or dress shoes with a narrow toe box change your center of gravity and increase the compressive force on your knees. Whenever possible, choose shoes with a wider toe box that allow your toes to spread and stabilize you naturally. Second, let's talk about weight management, but purely from a physics perspective. This isn't about judgment, it's about mechanics. Studies have shown that for every single pound of body weight, your knees absorb about 4 pounds of pressure when you walk. That means losing just 5 pounds relieves your knees of 20 pounds of pressure with every single step. Over the course of a mile, that is thousands of pounds of force saved. It's a huge motivator to keep a healthy weight. It literally saves your joints from wear and tear. And finally, let's bust a major myth: rest is best. If your knees hurt, your instinct is to stop moving completely. While you should avoid sharp pain, total inactivity is actually bad for knees. Cartilage doesn't have a blood supply like muscles do. It gets its nutrients through compression and decompression movement. We call this motion is lotion. Low impact movement like swimming, cycling, or just walking in a pool keeps the fluid cycling and the nutrients flowing. Don't freeze up. Keep moving gently. Implementing these tips, nutrition, checking your hips and ankles, and mindful movement, will add years to the life of your knees. Remember, you only get one pair, so treat them with respect. If you want to see a specific breakdown of those hip strengthening exercises I mentioned earlier, let me know in the comments below, and I'll film a routine just for that. Thanks for watching Staying Healthy Tips, and here's to strong knees for life.